Good evening, good afternoon, wherever you find yourself in this weird wild wacky world of ours, and welcome to another exciting installment of Edessa, The Dark Crusade, Season 2. This evening's scene is due to take place in Omar's shop, um, as Sister Madeleine has requested a meeting with the now disgraced, shock horror, former keeper of Edessa, Salvadrin, who will have arrived early and is in fact sitting in the top of Omar's shop at the appointed meeting place with Kindred. He is eating an apple and looking slightly bemused with the universe. So we shall join us as Madeleine enters, I suppose.
Yeah, she is, it's around the time that they've set. It's in the middle of the night. Um, yeah, Madeline, will just, she just enters. There's a light knock on the door, and as she enters, she will just peek in and she'll just say, "Ah, good, you are here. Good evening."
I
And
tend
she comes
to
in.
like, I tend to like to be punctual on some level, my lady. That, and as I said, I'm currently. I find my social calendar to be open.
Well, I must say that I would consider you blessed, but not in a way that you would think. Any adversity that we face is means to become stronger. You are strong, very strong to begin with. This will only harness you if you allow it to make yourself even stronger. But please,
We all have our enemies, Sister Madeline. Some of them are born practically in the blood. That is all I'll say on the topic. Though I will admit, you piqued my curiosity. How is it that I may be of assistance to
well, quite a few ways, I'm sure. I understand if the development has led you to a place where you will not assist certain members of this city. That is totally understandable. But we have a problem, all of us, followers of Set, clan of the Magisters, every one of us.
you?
That is the infernalist threat. And I have a fairly good idea of a way to stop it in its tracks. I have recently done something that I think will at least help us even a bit more. I hope that my interrogations of this person will bear fruit soon.
What personage is this?
Fairly high positioned person.
Hmm.
He is mortal, but clearly he has made some sort of arrangement. He was able to resist the kiss in the middle of it after being enraptured by it. A very, very rare gift, if at all possible, by a mortal to do so.
Hmm.
Also, hmm, suffice to say that he had a summoning circle and was under the delusion that he was speaking to a celestial entity. That was not the case, of course. But rest assured, he has been apprehended, and I will learn the truth from him.
Hmm. What you're speaking of is indeed a point of concern, a point of interest, a very valid point. So, you have perhaps removed a cog in a wheel. My question to you is, Do you have any idea how to stop the wheel from turning?
In your analogy, there is certain, what shall we call it, artistic expressions that make up the wheel.
Mm.
And all of them is needed for the wheel to begin to truly move. A particular crafting of stone, shall we say? They are all needed. All of them are needed in order
But
for, well, this one thing that I will not utter the name of, to truly utilize it for
but
movement.
but the question remains: do you know why they are all needed?
Because they are all part of the same thing. They are
Yes,
all needed to put together. It is like putting together a doll. If a part of it needs is needed, the doll is not complete.
yes, but my question is: do you know why they are? Do you know why it exists? Why they are separated? Why it is that they have power?
No. For your specific question, no.
Interesting. I postulate a question to you. If they are all needed, a very simple answer. We should simply destroy one of the pieces.
If you can.
I believe I can. Or rather,
Or
hmm?
or since so many people are content with seeking out these things and hoarding them for themselves,
Hmm.
perhaps we should do something else. Take one of them or two and hide them somewhere where they will never be found.
Therein lies the problem, Sister Madeline. Now, hmm, would you like me to tell you a story?
I like stories.
However, this story comes with a price. I can answer many of the questions that you have, and I can even link this into a much grander plan that has been forming far from Edessa, very far away. But if I do so, a secret that is spoken is no longer a secret. Two things. One, you will bear the weight of the knowledge as I bear it, because I know what has happened or what is occurring. But not only that, I will then not be the only possessor of this knowledge, and that decreases rather the value of the knowledge. So, with that in mind, I will exact a toll. I'm sure you understand.
Hmm. Well, before you do so,
Mhm.
I may not know all the details, but I know enough. Enough for it to be pressing, and enough for it not to. It would not be necessary for you to do so.
Really? Fascinating. In
Quite
that
so.
case, hmm?
Quite so.
Hmm.
Again, you probably have details I do not, and I probably have some details that you do not.
Very well then. You will contemplate how to best do this then. Hmm. Hmm. How well do you know your history?
Depends. Are you speaking Greek, Franken, or the Far East?
I'm speaking. Let me ask you a question. What to you does the dream mean?
Hmm. It is by some, the thing that, well, I suppose you could say that it is what our ultimate quarry has killed for some. Some say that it was Michael who bore it on his shoulders, and him being destroyed by this, well, not one of us, not entirely. I do not know exactly what to call her, but she did kill the dream, some would say.
Okay, actually, hang on. I have to stop there. Really important point. Like, this is direly important. Has Bishop told you that in the scene?
That Michael is dead and that
No, no, no,
Mary
no, no.
killed him.
That she killed Michael.
I am quite certain has been told and seen. I'm, but it's a long time ago since.
Okay, because Bishop has said that that is not known to the general populace, and has he was because I asked if Michael's death was a known factoid, and he said that no, all that anyone knows is that he died in the burning of the
Then,
Hagia Sophia.
then I might have heard it out of character. That's a good thing you
Okay.
say it because then I think we should redact it because if you say that, then that is a very good question, and then because it's like 5 months ago at least. I discussed it with Ulrich in scene or as Madeline, so I might remember it completely wrong. Like that is,
Okay. Yeah, that's fine. I just
it's
want
like
to
half a year ago or something.
yeah, no, no, no. I'm not like that. That's fine. I'm just saying it to you now because
That
this is the
is
only
it.
thing is because it's
Thank
fresh
you.
in my head because he said this to
Yeah,
me like 2 or 3 days ago.
I am saying thank you because
Is cool, yeah.
yeah. Well,
Um,
in that case, she will say that is very close to my very dear friend Ulrich's heart. He is a true follower of it, and he seems to wish to keep it alive in Timoran and in other places, despite the tragedy that happened.
now then, let me take you back into the mists of time. We will go back on a journey, you and I, back to. One second, I need to get the name of the place. Back to the town of Ibla. Now, Ibla is not important. It is not great. It is not a place where history has been made, save for one interesting point. So, the tablets spoke, as they do, of Ibla. It spoke of them, it spoke of. It spoke in its own way of love. Truest, truest love. I believe the love between a ghoul and its dominator, or perhaps it transcended that indeed. It spoke of the bond between two made manifest, and how it was that Michael, the great Michael, he who had discourse with gods and trucked with monsters, was the light of the truest world. It has many names. He has had many names, apparently. According to the Wishing Woman, he was called Beshter. He has worn many masks, but in that time, Mary the Black, because that is not her true name, I know her real name, the name she wore then, long since discarded. She was his, and he was hers, and how she longed for him, pined for him. beyond words and beyond time. So, many foul deals were indeed struck in Ebla. And to answer the question, because I feel generous, and because I feel as though there is something that may yet occur, Mary the Black, when a pact was made, I feel, split her soul asunder, and each one of her pieces of soul are an echo locked within these tablets, locked away, safe and sound. And is it not a great coincidence that the dream has ended and Michael lies slain upon the steps of or upon the burning of the Hagia Sophia itself? He died. No one knows quite how the great Lord, the angelic master, was slain, and yet suddenly Mary the Black, his former ghoul, simply emerges into the public eye once again here. Him dead, her not. Well, one may draw their own conclusion if they choose. That is not my business. But there's a very slight shrug of his shoulders. She loved him more than the world could say. And I believe that love was not just born of the blood, but of truest, innermost desire. You should hear how she wrote of him. She wrote of him that when he left, she did not understand why. He did not even say goodbye. All we saw was him riding through the town, away from the besieging force, because indeed Ebla was besieged at the time. So in order to save her home, dark pacts were struck, souls were sundered. Who's to say what else occurred? That is only secrets and silence.
Hmm. Hmm. Quite. Not much, it seems.
I'm very good at listening.
A good quality to have.
Would you like to know how I believe these fragments may be destroyed?
Unbinding them with the sword?
No. The soul is locked within the tablets themselves created by magic darker than abyssal black. However, within this city there is something that is anathema to that. Cast one of the tablets into Abraham's fountain. See if the solidified faith there, the faith given to it by tens of thousands of weeping masses, can undo the demon's blight. If so, the fountain may be destroyed, but I shall weep no tears. It will send whatever fragment of wretched, blackened soul remains locked within its obsidian walls, screaming back to whatever hell awaits it for judgment. And then there will be no more, how would one say, no more complete peace for the wheel to turn. Because I do not necessarily believe that Mary the Black seeks this for any dark purpose. I believe she seeks this to redeem herself, to bring back her own soul, sold long ago. Piece by piece by piece, it comes back together.
She may think so, but we cannot allow her to do it, and we cannot allow anyone else to gather all of these things.
Of course not. I'm merely saying that I do not necessarily believe her own motives to be evil. I don't care, one way or the other. I don't care about her nobility or her flawed nature. I don't care about if she is indeed attempting to make one last grasp for her own, well, shattered existence. That is no business of mine. I consider this to be a game, Sister Madeline. It's the only game that is interesting to play, and the city itself is the stake and the board.
That it is indeed.
Though the question that you should be asking yourself is, why is it that Mary the Black has not put us into checkmate?
Madeline just smiles at him. You actually probably roll for that. Let's just say number 1.
I'm fine with that.
I will roll some dice.
Gotta roll those dice.
Manipulation subterfuge. Wow, that's a horrible roll. 1 success.
That is a horrible roll.
Yeah.
That is a horrible roll.
Well, you get the sense that Madeline probably knows the answer to that question.
Do enlighten the masses, sister. Do not keep us in suspense.
He looks at him and just smiles a little. Boy. It is... If she indeed simply wanted it, and there was only us two. Boy. Only us to oppose her, she would have them by now. That is true.
Are you speaking perhaps about the agreement, the covenant made between the prince and the wishing woman, that the wishing woman will attempt to stop her?
That and others.
Hmm.
The people who instigated the plague in the city some time ago. I believe they are perhaps trying to stop her, or maybe they wish to try to utilize these fragments themselves. I honestly cannot know, but it is what makes the most sense. If someone is actively fighting her or working against her, of at least considerable power, well, then she can simply not do just as she pleases and walk in and take whatever she wants. Someone is, as you said, putting her in check.
For now, yes. However, that will fail. As a matter of fact, it is already failing.
Are you speaking of our demonic entity?
That creature was nothing but a memory, an afterthought, something that had dragged itself up from the pits simply for vengeance for its own sake. That was a minor playing at games it does not truly understand. Those were the hands of one of the other parties who were attempting to build enough energy to rip open a gate to the other side. It was artless, it was guileless, and it was easily defeated.
Hmm.
No. I speak of prophecies, of seeing things in the blood, in the water, of the stars when they weep crimson, of what is to come. We are all pieces upon a board, as I said. I am playing the game simply because it is my duty to play, and because it is the only thing that keeps the sense of anew away, or encounter, or yeah, anew, seeking the sense of anew from me. But I know that there are other pieces that are moving. It's like I said to you, Sister Madeline, a very long time ago, and I hope that you've been paying attention. They have acquired an immense amount of occult knowledge, books, equipment, reagents, magical items, and preparations in order to do what they have done. How is it they're entering the city? Mm-hmm. Who is helping them?
Hmm.
I can tell you how it is they're entering the city if you're interested in knowing the answer.
Oh, I would.
The Brotherhood of the Euphrates, I think that's what they're called. It's one of the gang names. It's the one that has Euphrates in it.
Hmm.
Are secretly operating an occult smuggling business whereby they are bringing boats through the river gates at night laden with occult items and objets d'art. Where all of this is going. Some goes here, some goes there, but some of it, I assure you, goes elsewhere.
I see.
Mind you, I will give you a guess which two clans are the ones who patronize these endeavors.
She smiles. I'm guessing you would say my clan as one of them.
Incorrect. Your clan have their own blood sorcery, I'm led to understand, but it does not require as many mystic reagents, powders of pufferfish, and silvered moons etched in runes. No, no, no. For that, you need only look for the thieves of the blood and the judges of false truths.
Hmm. Oh, I was thinking that this Brotherhood of the Euphrates, I seem to believe, but this may be a long time ago, I seem to believe to have heard them being involved with my clan, but I might be
No,
mistaken.
your clan with the seneschal controls the Temeshvar Brotherhood,
Hmm.
a different organization.
Hmm. It is
But
not my.
he shrugs. That is neither here nor there. However, if you truly wish to hurt these occultists, if you truly wish to slow them, I would recommend seizing the assets that are being brought in via the river trade. That will make it so that their rituals are harder to conduct. I do not believe Mary the Black herself requires such powdered newt and silvered mirrors, as I said. However, those other individuals who created the braziers, who wrought them from moon-etched silver neath cursed moons, most assuredly do.
Hmm.
I would do something about it myself, but then again, I am currently out of favor, so he casually shrugs. I might not be the best person to sound a clarion call.
Hmm. Well, of course, one must pick one's battles. But it is disconcerting to know that there is an enemy which you can never know exactly how powerful that enemy is.
The enemy is as the enemy is. Ultimately, we do not know their strength, but then again, they do not know ours.
True.
You have to understand, I am not an individual who. I will phrase this. I am an individual who believes that we must walk the path that we must walk. And for the record, I'm going to get this right. They are the Brotherhood of the Euphrates and the Talvar Sword. The Brotherhood of the Euphrates, the one who are bringing in the Malarkey, and the Telwar Sword Brotherhood are the ones that are controlled by the La Sombra. There,
Okay.
I've gotten things right. Um, but he'll say, ultimately, I do not personally care much for these things. I am merely playing the game, as I said, and the game is interesting. But if your cultist is indeed correct, then we may be able to be led to richer pickings, as it were. For example, currently we are investigating another means in order to answer the same questions. But then again, I will be able to give more answers to that when I return.
Hmm. I wonder, Do we know how many there are in total of these mm, stones, anchors?
Yes, and no. There is enough to tell a story, because that is what these stones do. They tell her story. At the moment, I have read three, and they tell a story going from one part to another, or at least I believe the parts flow from one to another. I believe that there may be as many as two more, because then that would conclude the story.
Hmm. Well, that is. I still believe we should have. Perhaps we should look into this solution or attempt with Abraham's fountain. But we should have a another plan to run besides it. Simply take one of these tablets while one is hopefully being destroyed, rendering the others useless or much less potent. And while that is happening, we take another and hide it.
They are already well hidden. Do you know? Actually, no, I amend that statement. Do you know how many boons Prince Ulrich has paid in order to protect the tablet that is in his charge?
Hmm. No, but not an insignificant amount, I'm quite sure.
Indeed. It would be great and pressing to take them. The only tablet I cannot speak to with certainty its current state is the one that is currently protected or in the keeping of, I want to say the prince, but I don't know where it is. This is the one that was taken from Giles's uh, soiree.
Hmm.
I have no idea where that one is. I assume it's safe. I shall hope.
You see, I have more than one solution or plan for this.
Oh,
I will, if I have the opportunity, possibility, call it what you will, then I will take one of them alone. I will take it somewhere and I will go into Torpor myself. Not with it, not directly, but I will be the only person who will know where it is hidden, and no one will be able to find me when I sleep. This will ensure that no one will get to it.
as for myself, I will be venturing to the only other place I believe one of them is hidden.
To the ruins? South?
Hmm. I will make my journey to Ibla.
I do believe you should have someone with you. When are you doing this journey?
Imminently. I'm only stopping here in order to keep my promise of a conversation. I will more than likely depart perhaps tomorrow evening. After all, I have no commitments here, as I said. My social dance card is somewhat open, so after all, what could be better than risking life and limb for a city that has become apathetic to your general existence?
I see. But going there will be very dangerous. You might want assistance. I know that you are capable. That is not what I am questioning. I am merely saying that there are other very capable people.
I do not believe that Ibla is dangerous any longer. I think that it is a shadow of a memory of the past. However, I will not be going alone.
Hmm. Very well.
If I find anything there, I will, however, I will propose a similar agreement with you to the one I possess with the Lady Irene, that I will give in exchange for information to you, in exchange for any information you come to yourself possess. A free trade thereof.
Hmm. A noble arrangement.
Is it acceptable?
That is acceptable.
Good. Very good. In that case, sister, he will stand up. I have many things to see to before the dawn.
I will not keep you any longer. Please, have a very safe journey. I hope to speak with you again soon.
It should not take me too long a period of time. Ebla is not altogether far from here, particularly if I'm able to travel via my own mortal retainers night and day. We should be able to reach there, so we should be able to reach there in good order and return. But I shall hope, as I say, that your footsteps are found ever in moonlight, sister.
Thank you.
He will walk past her and walk down to the door of Omar's shop and depart.
Yeah, and Madeline will leave a little later.
Okay. So thank you, players, for playing. Thank you, watchers, for watching. This has been another scene in Edessa the Dark Crusade. Have a pleasant evening.